obviously, big welcome to everyone joining. And basically, just let you know, I think Zara's already done it. This is going to be filmed. So you can have your screen off. We can send it to you after, whatever you need, just to give you a little bit more insight. So the fourth webinar. Before, we've done Chimp Paradox, we've done Insights Discovery, and we've done Feed Forward, which are all great ones by some of our amazing speakers and talkers and development, which is great. So unfortunately, you're lumbered with me for the next 20 minutes, all right? But hopefully we'll have a good time, all right? All about planning an effective company away day. So a little bit about us, just in case you're not sure, right? So I'm from Go-To Events. We've been going for around 12 years now, and I'll be honest, we've been absolutely smashing it the last few years, right? We did 1,800 events last year. We do live events, we do virtual events. So basically, we've got it covered all over the UK. We've got a base up north, we've got a base down south, and we've got a base in London. So it just means for us, we can cover the whole country and come to wherever the client is, wherever you are, to help to basically make that perfect day. Our team's been getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which is really good to help your needs of whoever's booking, all right? Because we've got a sales team that can go through everything to make the dream work. And then we have a projects team who are really good at those finer details and sort of cover those little bits to make sure nothing's been missed. Then we've got an amazing operations team who then cover it on the day. Okay, so they're there then just to make sure the dreams come true. Everyone's had a good day. We've really built massively on repeat business. So it just means we're doing a good job. People keep coming back for more. And that's what we love. Right. So yeah, Zara, next slide, please. Right, a little bit about me, right? So I'm Dan Solen, events director at Go-To Events. A little bit about me. So I'm 6'3". I've got blue eyes. I'm Aries, and Moroccan sunset hair, right? And apparently I'm a pretty nice bloke as well, all right? So for anything you guys need, I'm here to help. Nice and easy. I'll talk. I can give you insight, give you help, and that's why we're here, okay? So I'm the events director at Go-To Events. So I look after the sales team to make sure everything is ticked off. We cover every single basis from start to finish with your inquiry and basically make sure we're doing a good job. I've been here about 8 years, and I've been covering, when I first started, literally making the cups of tea, sweeping the floor, was running events. I was in the van, I was doing all that. So I've got really good experience of being out in the field. And then I've done a lot of the office work as well, being a project manager up into sales, then running that sales team now. So hopefully in good hands with me, all right, with good experience and sort of pushing that on. So perfect. Right, next one, please, Zara. Right, I want to get everyone involved just a little bit at the start, right? I like these things just to be a little bit interactive and understand where you guys are at this stage. So we're very much looking at what a perfect company away day is. This is what it's about today, just to give a bit of insight. But actually, I'd like to know a little bit from you. So we have got a QR code in the bottom left-hand corner. So if you could scan the QR code on your phone, ideally, that would be amazing. And then basically, it's just an app. It's free. You don't have to put any details in. It's just on there. It's got the question. And then you just basically answer on there. And then we'll show some of those answers in a second. It'd be really interesting, just so it saves anyone having to talk other than me. All right, give it out or use the chat. So this question is all about, what do you think makes a perfect company away day? Is it something you've liked from before? Is it something that you really want, like on your future one? Is it something you think really important to your guests? So anything like that would be amazing if you could scan that and sort of, hopefully someone fills it in. Please, please, pretty please. Oh, it's loading, it's coming. Here we go. So basically, these will get bigger if more people sort of write the same sort of thing. So it's really good to see what we've got. Collaborations on there a couple of times, which is great. Energetic, all about the experience, memories, fun. The standard sort of stuff we would like to see, because this is what it's about, isn't it? The company way day. What, like, to me, it's bringing everyone together, isn't it? That collaboration, especially nowadays, right? Since COVID, since people are working from home more, you may not see everyone all the time now. So it's really good to have that meetings, getting everyone together, break the ice, have a little bit of food as well. I'm surprised no one's written food on there, eh? Everyone's been quite nice there. Team building, good. Whoever wrote that, we like that. Teamwork, feel good. Some really good stuff there. I think fun is the biggest one, which means most people have written that. So I think it's all about, they're all kind of linked together. but fun is all about making them memories. We don't want it to be boring. We don't want it to be stale. We don't want people to go, oh, that was kind of all right, but I want to get home. Actually, they want to be excited, like seeing everyone, seeing the venue, seeing a different thing. So that's really good. We've also got a second question, haven't we, Zara? We can move on to that one, which was, what are the most important things to you on an event? Running of timing, starts on time, lovely. Food, yeah, someone wrote food, love that. Theme, engagement, shared memories, food, perfect. Exactly what we'd expect to see. They're so important, but as you can see from, like, there's loads of things on here. So one might be really important to me, but actually something else might be really important to someone else. So we got to make sure that we cover all these from start to finish for them to have a great time. So that's perfect. Thanks ever so much, guys. Really interesting. It's good to see all those results. How to run a kick-ass away day, right? So obviously for you guys, obviously we've got a lot of different people on it. If you work with an agent, if you work with a venue, or if you're just booking it as part of your team, all right? A lot of people that we end up dealing with, actually, this is not their full-time job. This is just a side part. You might be part of a committee. You might be just trying to help. You're good at organising things. So hopefully there's 8 little bullet points I've got here that hopefully will help to make sure you cover absolutely everything. So the first one I think is really important is location, all right? Go to that one. Perfect. So location, you've got to think about a number of things here. This is number one, because you've got to think, all right, one, you've got to find a location. Is it in your offices? Is it off-site? Is it at a venue? Then we've got to do site visits. Then we've got to do speaking to them. Is it like, obviously budget, really important as well. Is it the right venue for you guys? Are they going to be looking after you from start to finish? Are you guys going to feel at ease? Are you going to feel that actually this is perfect to house our event? It's got to suit all guests. Has it got everything that you need? So I'll be honest, a lot of our events we need a meeting, need lunch, and an activity. So in the summer, for example, you think, all right, indoor meeting, obviously indoors. Is it got a big enough room? AV, projector, screen, all that. Can we cope with that? They then have lunch. Where are we having lunch? Is that going to be coped with? All right. And then has it got outdoor space? So these venues are amazing. We can help with the venue find, or if you've already got a venue, then great. But this is so important, because is it for guests to get there? Is it close to the office? Who's traveling where? So important. Number 2 is clear reason. Why are you booking an event? Is it because the boss has said so? Is it because the boss thinks that we have to have one? Or is it because of a number of other reasons? Is there something that, like I said earlier, since COVID, a lot of people are working from home? Is it the reason is because you just want to get everyone together? I've had a call this morning, and they were saying there's 3,000 employees and about 2,500 of them work from home 4 days a week. So their reason for the event was, actually, we just wanted everyone together. Our teams have joined. We just feel there's no teamwork, there's no morale. So actually bringing everyone together to do some visions in the morning, to then also doing something fun in the afternoon is really, really important. Sometimes people just want a fun day. That's great. I'll be honest, on our days when we take all the staff out, we do a very quick meeting, maybe half an hour tops, just to give them an update because everyone's together. And then the rest of the day is literally just letting them, I don't want to say let loose, but just feeling a bit more at ease and having a little bit of fun that way. The next one, all right, obviously date. Dates are really difficult because you have to suit everybody. You've got to suit you in the company, the boss, anyone else who's there. Is it a good time to have everyone out of the office as well to do that? Then you've got to find a venue that can also house that same date. So it's good to have maybe a couple of options that you can work with, especially because venues are so busy. And then it's looking at, all right, who are the suppliers? Are we getting a team building company like us, or are they doing food? It's like, actually, there's so many important things. Trying to be as flexible as we can with that date is super important. The next thing will be the activity, right? I don't like saying this is the fun stuff, all right? The meetings are great in the morning. I think it really brings everyone together and giving them the values, the aims of what's going to happen. But actually having that activity is super, super important, because actually seeing people in a different light, seeing people kind of, obviously they are in a work environment, but outside of work environment is really important, all right? Then you've got to think, all right, what's the right activity? So it's something that we ask all the time when we're talking to clients, right? What have you done before? What are you looking for to do? What's the group like? Is there different ages? Is it a young crowd? Is it an old crowd? We want to get as many people involved as possible. I was chatting to a client the other day, And I'll be honest, their workforce were all 50 plus. Not saying this is not suitable, but like, and it's a knockout. She was like, absolutely no, they won't handle it. So we've got to really look at who is coming on the event to make sure all boxes are ticked. We appreciate that in a team, there's a lot of different shapes, sizes, and ability. So that's why a lot of our events are catered to look after all different types of people to make sure it's included. We also want to see, you know, we've got different types of events, from health and wellbeing, from charity events. Also, you've got to think, like, do they want something collaborative, or do you want something a little bit competitive? People obviously like competition with prize and stuff like that, 'cause it's always a good day and we want to make those amazing memories. So the next option is planning. Okay, planning could be difficult, especially if it's on your own. You're trying to juggle a lot of things, right? You're trying to juggle the venue, trying to juggle the activity, trying to juggle food, trying to juggle people coming in with that day. So we would really recommend, hopefully, that you're not doing it all on your own. Try and get other people to help that have got a really good skill set. So maybe have a committee, maybe not too many, but just some that you can then delegate out. I think that's really important, because then you get other people's ideas and it's not just on your shoulders. I think that's sometimes the thing that some clients really struggle with, and they're really stressed when we talk to them. They're like, oh my God, what happens if it's rubbish? What happens about this? Well, like, actually, there's so much to it, which is right. And we can help as much as possible, but having a team there is really good. That kind of links to the next one, which is teamwork. So again, it's working together in your group or the committee to do the best event, talking to them actually of the guests, what they like, what they want to do, maybe doing a poll, or talk to them about what they think might work, or what they'll be excited about, and go from that. Just to go back to sort of the planning stage, I think it's really important to let people know as much as possible as well, because it's important. Like, people feel on, especially nowadays, I think people are a bit more on edge. They want to know exactly what's going on. So having that event pack, having that itinerary, this is when we're arriving, this is where we're going, this is what we're doing. People like that. So it's all good. Then you've got the next one, which is follow up. Follow up, all right, it's kind of, it seems silly, but actually it's keeping on check of everything as a booker. So is the venue getting back to you with what you need? Is the date, obviously the date available? Is it booked? What do we need else? Is there like an itinerary of, right, this is when we need to give dietary requirements, this is when we need to give final numbers, this is when we do times, things like that, being on top of that, especially with then the suppliers like ourselves. It's all right, they're all booked, who's coming, what time are they coming, is everything one place ready? Because on the day, we do not want you guys stressed. We want you to feel at ease. We want you to take part and actually enjoy it. We find a lot of the time, I speak to clients that actually they're dreading the day, which is not the one. We want them to be excited. We want them to actually be proud of what they put together and worked on. So that would be amazing. And then the final one is get help, all right? As I said, please ask us for our expertise, our wisdom, or another supplier. Ask your team to help. Don't take all this on at once. This is quite a big responsibility. So even if it's only for 20, 30, 40 people, or if it's up to 1,000, 2,000 people, it's always nice to have a little bit of help. Get it sorted. All right. So the next slide, please, Zara. What we find interesting, right, about team building is the taboo of team building. Okay, what I've, like, a lot of people always saying, like, oh, team building. When I was running the events, I used to love them people, right? Because they'd be like, oh, team building, I don't want to be here. Actually, we love changing perception of that. So actually, there's a few things we've said about actually maybe not using the word team building and using team experience, just because then actually want them to get excited. People also think team building is still that old school thing of ropes, buckets, planks of wood. God, literally getting B&Q. There's a lot of, I don't say a lot of cowboy companies out there still do that, which is great. It's cheap, it's fun and stuff, but actually want it to be about that experience. We find that from when the clients or the guests first arrive at the venue. Are they getting, do they know where they're going? Are they treated well? Are they greeted with a smile? Same with then our experience, all right? The team coming out for the activity. I want them to walk out, say it was outside, and be like, oh my God, I can't wait to have a go. It's so exciting. And we want them to be like, oh my God, I can't believe they put this on for us. We're so lucky, we're so happy. So we're always trying to do something new, try and mix it up. So I don't like saying we nick, but we borrow a few ideas off, if a TV show's been on, like a real popular is Crystal Maze, but things like Quid Games is really popular on TV. We had a lot of requests for that, so we built a new event for that. You think, actually, that's really cool and something new and something exciting. So it's all good. The idea, right, is if you're putting a company away day on, a lot of people just want meetings, right? Fine, get that, but there's no excitement. So that's why we always try, if you wanted an energizer or something after lunch, we can then really build that hype to get people excited. Do that important stuff first, do the meeting first, make sure that's all covered, and then we can bring the fun. And actually, it could be a perfect mix of a perfect day. Yeah, next one, please, Zara. Right, let me get you this. All right, really important, right? Even if you've got 10, 20, 30 people or more, ensure there's something for everyone, okay? So like I just said, it's all about the experience from start to finish. Make sure it is covered from, right, what time they're arriving. Right, let's be honest, are we happy that, what's the first thing they're probably going to do? Tea or coffee or a drink or a little snack, keep people happy, right? Then have a meeting. Do we want to be in a meeting all day? Probably not. So you want to do meetings, have a break, like obviously cover it all. Then the next one is events that fit all shapes and sizes, all right? We get that companies are different. You've got all different departments. Exactly what we've got here. We've got a finance team, we've got a sales team, we've got a projects team, we've got operations team. Actually, they all want different things. So it's trying to cover all those bases, okay? So luckily, a lot of our events do cover that, but that's where we got to look at, like, is there a chill out area if people need a little bit of time to do some work? Have we got extra meeting rooms just in case some people need to go off and have a meeting during the day? The next one, thanks, Zara. Yes, all right, go on to it, is make sure you feed them. All right, really important. I'll get like that. I'll get hangry. I haven't had lunch yet. I'm a little bit on edge at the moment. And I think, actually, when are they having food? Don't let them be all day without having something to eat. So try and have those little snack bites in, try and have that lunch in, and things like that. Then you've got to think about the entertainment. You've got meeting spaces, you've got chill out spaces. So you think, all right, where's the meeting spaces? Is it big enough to have everyone in? Is everyone comfortable? Can everyone see everything? You don't want people to be sat behind a pillar. You don't want someone sat like well out of the way. They can't see anything. So make sure that's all covered. Do we need to add, I was talking this morning with someone actually, they were worried that all day of meetings is going to be full on. So they want to get some like public speakers in, some different talks to actually get people gripped. Because let's be honest, if you're doing spreadsheets or meetings all day, they ain't going to be hooked in too much. So they're going to lose that sort of buzz, lose that concentration. Also a chill out space. Give them time to relax and talk to people. Give them time to just feel at ease, really, and sort of meet them that way. And then the next option, we think about how the event will flow. Okay, how does it go from start to finish? All right, what time are we starting? Can everyone get there for that time? You've got to appreciate they're not maybe going to work. They've got kids. They've got I don't know, animals, dogs, whatever they've got to look after. So what time can they arrive? And then we think, what time can we have the breaks? What time can we have lunch? What time do we activity? What time do we finish? Do we have to get people overnight accommodation? Do we need to make sure that it just flows properly and that actually people are having a good time? And the next one. Then there's different parts of the activity, right, that we want to be included. Is everyone stimulated from the mental side? Is there a little bit of physical? Get them up moving. There's nothing worse than sat in the same chair all day, looking at the same walls, looking at the same presentation. Is there something to be creative? Can we, just chuck in a couple of little challenges, something real easy to get them going? Kind of like what I did at the start with the creative, just getting people typing in, just seeing what they think to really hook that in. And then the idea, right, I always think of it, everyone together is that team collaboration. Can we get everyone mixed in? Can we do something that actually at the end of the day, they think, oh my God, that was amazing. Or, yeah, I feel actually part of the team now. I understand where we're going, what we've done, what we're going in the future, and work on that. Another thing as well, next ones are, it would be health and well-being. Okay, so we've been pushing that a lot more recently. You don't have to have it for long, but it's just like have an instructor there to do a bit of yoga while they're sat down at the desk or in the chair for the meeting. Is it about learning to do some different sort of breathing exercises? It's so important now to look after yourself, be healthy. That is something you could easily add in, and I think a lot of people will appreciate. Then the last one for this one would give the guests all the details that they need. All right, kind of covered it a little bit earlier, but for us, what we do is put an event pack together. Okay, so it's an itinerary from start to finish, so they know exactly what they are sort of taking on, basically. So they feel at ease. They don't think they're going to be embarrassed. They don't think they're going to be put on the spot or have to be at the front. They'll know exactly what they're going to do from start to finish. They can then plan their day, plan their travel, and if they need to bring extra food or they need extra things at home, then it's all good. All right, lovely. Next one, Zara, please. Right, we get asked this question a lot, right? What happens if it rains? Funny thing is, actually, last year, the worst issues we had was when the sun was out and it was absolutely baking. We had some serious heat. What we find actually is more people now are used to being in an office, being in aircon, chilling out, no bother. But as soon as it got like ridiculous heat, then actually we had a few more issues. So we were always making sure, like, if it's that hot, make sure people have got their sun hats, make sure they bring their suntan lotion, make sure we've got drinks on tap, make sure we have some breaks where actually can go in and have a little bit of a breather. But just getting back to what happens if it rains, all right? I did put in "do just get wet," all right? To be honest, we do crack on with our activity. We can provide ponchos, we can provide sort of like shelters, gazebos. We ask people to dress for the occasion, right? The good thing for us that we offer, if we'll look a couple of days before the event, maybe 3, 4, 5 days before, and if it looks horrific, there's a storm coming or bad weather, we can change that then to something indoors to be super flexible. Obviously, sometimes we don't like to change it just because actually we think they'd still have a really good event, but we're there to be as flexible as we can to make sure everything is covered. You know what, when I was running events, some of the best events I did were in the rain, but just because actually everyone's sort of chilled out, we wouldn't mention it and we'd just have a great time. If you're really worried about the weather, all right, it's always good to have a venue that has an indoor option. So if you already had a meeting, then great, you could probably use that space and then set up during lunch. We would probably have to change the activity, but that's good to have a different option and actually think about that, just to make sure what if we can't do that, what if we can't cover all bases and make sure it's ticked off. Right. Then lastly, be bored of my voice soon. All right, just wanted to go through our top 5 events, all right, for groups. There's so many different options out there. You might be a bit worried or a bit scared. You look on the website, look on ours, look on a competitor's website. There's so many different options. That's why we're here to help. What we try and do is we'll speak to you on the phone and then we'll ask a lot of important questions to find out, right, what have you done before? What are you looking at doing? Who's coming? What boxes do you want ticked to make sure everything's covered? So here's just going to be 5 sort of popular activities that we can do. So the first one is company away days. Might be a simple option, but actually it's great, all right? And there's so many different variables, so many ways we can be flexible with it. So we got one booked in, I think it's in a couple of weeks, for like 1,000 people. So to do an actual one where they're in teams, a little bit harder, can be done, but that's why they wanted a company away day to fit everyone's needs. So we might have a zone for inflatables. You've got the big sweeper arm, you've got the inflatable assault course, you've got gladiator jacks, you might want to smash the boss up on there. Then we've got what else we've got there? Crazy golf. So a bit more chilled, but still competitive, still a little bit of fun, and even the kids can get involved in there. Then you might have a little bit more of a skill set thing. So you've got things like archery, axe throwing, laser clays, where actually you may not have done it before, but we can still have a competition on there. Then we've got like a kids zone. We can do face painters, we can do bouncy castles, little assault course, stuff to keep them entertained as well, as long as the giant games. Then you've got, you can add in loads of different stuff to keep them occupied, from maybe a golf simulator, because a lot of people like that. It's been super popular. Or a new event that we've been pushing is Lego Masters, because we find that's really good, especially for the health and well-being. It's like the new colouring in, where we can have a section there for the kids or the adults to have a little competition of what they can build, be creative, have a little bit of fun with that. And that's great for the people that are maybe not so full on, who want to be on those inflatables. So that's always a nice one. And the next event is it's a knockout, right? People just love this in the summer, right? Because as soon as you walk outside, right, you've got a big field, right? Grass is everywhere. We've got music playing. We've got all the inflatables. So on our version, we have 8 different inflatables all loaded up. Like I said, from sweeper arm, assault course, we've got massive big washing machines where you're in teams, you're going to be going head to head against each other, trying to win as many points. Not only does it look great, but it's great to get everyone involved. And actually, you might be thinking, oh, it doesn't suit everyone. It is a little bit tight. It's probably the most physical event we do, but it's still not too bad, right? We can have you covered there. Then the third event will be quite similar to the company away day, but a company festival, right? And we look at this slightly different, all right? So this comes with a bit more of a theme, all right? So we can have the signpost up, we can have the hay bales, we have different sort of theming, we have different entertainment from singers, from bands, from DJs. People love that music. You can even have like face painters, different entertainers. You can have food vans, because sometimes you don't want something that the venue are doing. Maybe you want something a little bit different to sort of suit all their needs. And then our fourth event is Crystal Challenge. Some of you may laugh, some of you may have booked this before, right? But this is still one of our most popular events. This is because people have heard of it on TV, right? People have seen it, people love it. This is all about teamwork, where you've got 8 challenges in teams going head to head. There'll be 4 different zones. They all test different ability, from skill, from mental, from physical, right? Don't worry, it's not too physical. Each team goes through them with different crystals to try to get to our massive inflatable dome, which is a great finale. Again, it looks the part, it's loads of fun, and just a great day out. And obviously, if you've seen the show, then it's good, it brings back memories, but on the show, only one person's taking on the games. This one's all built to have everyone involved as a whole team, so someone will be doing something the whole time. Then the final event is, do you know what? We've been really pushing our charity events, and we've had some really amazing activities, from charity bike build, from a charity bake-off, and then this one is just come on board. We've just been creating it and design. It's called Putt for Purpose. Okay, so the idea, again, in teams, you'll be creating your own crazy golf course. So in your teams, you'll be doing different holes. You use items that we can then donate later to charity. And then what happens is, once all the holes are built, as you can see on the picture, they all look very different. We'll have a little bit of a competition as well as have some prizes. So it's a really good event if you wanted something to give back with. So this, we donate loads of stuff to a local charity called Shelter. Amazing. And they all need stuff for the homeless. That's lovely. But obviously we have so many different events. Literally just call us, ask us our opinion. We can try and help as best we can. So I think you've had enough of me for half an hour. Hopefully that answers some questions, gives you some knowledge. We have recorded this. We can send it out after. We will send a little bit of a mail shot after, just a bit more info. Does anyone have any questions before we finish? If you want to put them in the chat. If not, I want to say thanks ever so much for everyone joining.